Hey y'all, this is A.L. Thick Madame. Thank you so much for dropping by my channel. Okay, so just in case y'all didn't see this shirt in Black History Month, this is just what it is. I've represented all times, but I mean, I really try to show out during Black History Month. I'm just saying. But anyway, don't mind my hair. It still looks like a mess. That's why I'm wearing this headband again. It's multifunctional, so I can just do it like this. I can do it like the way I actually wear it at work, which is I'll braid this up. And while it's braided, I'm just kind of mimicking what it looks like, y'all, when I have it braided up. And I just put the whole thing over it at work. And people still get their life, and I just be like, what are y'all even looking at, though? Like they really be getting their like, oh, your hair, oh, I love that. I'm like, it's a headband, but okay. Yo. Anyway, y'all see the title, so let's go ahead and get into this recap review. Oh Lord, I'm sorry y'all had to witness that 1 second catastrophe just now. I'm telling y'all, my hair look like a mess. But anyway, I'll be taking it down possibly today or tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, it looked like a mess and it has to go. So anyway, y'all, and also as a heads up, I'm going to be sipping from time to time on my water. So I got to have some good old ice water on hand. Trying to stay hydrated and all these good things. So anyway, y'all, do we want to go back and give like a brief recap of what happened last time? Yeah, let's, bring up some highlights or whatnot. Y'all, I'm tired of my spirit, y'all. Charity is stupid, and I have been saying this for the longest. I don't think I reviewed this before. What I did do was thoughts videos at times when like the absolute most was going on the show, and I just could not take it, and I wanted to talk to y'all about it. But yeah, this time around, y'all are going to see me actually do recap reviews. So, yeah. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Charity is so stupid, y'all. I was just like, I ain't never seen somebody so hung up on having a man that she's blinded by the things that are just right in front of her face. When we first were introduced to Charity, I saw her husband and I was like, what is going on here? Y'all, I actually want to do like a little thoughts video of sorts where I ask y'all about beards, and her husband was a whole beard out here. And I was just like, why is we doing this? Why are you not even understanding or seeing the signs that your husband is a whole beard? Y'all, then she went from him. Lord, I'm trying to figure out where to start and where to go. And there's just so many moving parts to Charity that I'm tired. I'm not even going to go into it because I will be here all day and not even start on the recap review because I'm talking about Charity stupid behind. Y'all, anyway, I ain't going to talk about that. But anyway, Charity's still stupid. The bishop and Lady Mae are in their feelings and they ain't really talking right now. And, it's all because she has kind of taken up this role and all of that with this guy who is trying to take over the church, and it's all because she wants to be the one who preaches, which it makes sense because he ain't where he need to be anymore. He got the shakes, couldn't even see his way out of it. He was losing weight, man, no doubt he made a love fiend out of her. Y'all know that song? Y'all look up that song by Chaz Shepherd. If y'all ever saw the Parkers, the boyfriend that was ditzy, right along with Kimberly Ann Parker, yeah, he actually can sing down in real life. And I have that song on rotation, and I've had it ever since it first came out. And when I saw the cover and saw it was him, I was like, wait a minute, sir. But yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, the bishop is going through. He can't even stand up at the podium long enough to even say, good morning, saints, and anything before he get the trembles and the shakes. And before long, everybody's going to know. So, yeah, Lady Mae, she had her little day that she has every year. And that went well, and that was going to be the last one under the Calvary name, the official Calvary church name, because they're essentially doing what they've done with the other churches, the people who are taking over, and they're making all of them harmony and hope. And this is going to be like the headquarters. And yeah, Grace is no longer with the guy who's playing Rick Fox, who Rick Fox is playing, excuse me. They're no longer together, and they might as well be together because they are so much alike. I know that in some cases that's not that great, but I think in their case, it is great. Her son, AJ, is kind of caught up, and nobody knows, you know, how he's going to be able to come out on the other side, because he indeed robbed this drugstore of all of these meds and all this other stuff. And, you know, even though Grace, his mama, has all this money, it's like, how is he going to be able to get off? It's just a lot going on. Jacob's wife is out here in her feelings. And in my mind, I'm just like, girl, you have accepted him cheating the entirety of y'all's marriage. In my opinion, it was because of the Greenleaf name, all the money that they had, the notoriety that they had, because they are Greenleafs. And she didn't have a leg to stand on. Yeah, she had a job, but when I tell y'all, it took forever for them to even show her having a job. And in my mind, I was like, well, did she have a job before now? Because all of a sudden, they just started showing her at the school. And I'm like, oh, she actually works. Because every time I looked up, she was in Marisol face, the, y'all about to say janitor, the maid's face. I was just like, does she work? Like, what is going on? I'm tired of my spirit. But yeah, y'all, she out here wanting to live her best life all of a sudden. And it's dumb because you have accepted your husband and all of his faults and all the stuff he had been doing. Because off rip, when they showed the first season, I was like, oh my gosh, Jacob just out here screwing everybody. And he actually turned over a new leaf. He stopped cheating. And even though he kind of was about to slip in the wrong direction last season, he was able to kind of rein it back in due to some crazy circumstances. And as I have mentioned to y'all before, especially when I talk about the show, American Soul, old boy Gerald, that is the same dude that I first saw on this show, Greenleaf, playing a crooked guy by the name of Basie Skanks. That man is fine for no reason. Y'all cannot tell me I'm wrong. Look him up. If you don't know who I'm talking about, look him up and tell me I'm wrong. He is fine, like for no reason. But anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, he had been faithful for quite some time to his wife, and like he actually was trying to communicate with her. He was trying to cater to her. They seemed to be going in an amazing direction, but it's like she got fed up with him once he started to not come through financially as far as being able to keep a job and keep his promise to her, which was that they were going to move out of his parents' home and purchase their own home, because all the stuff that went down before, because they moved out and they had to move right back in, because the house that, I think her name was Tasha, that's Basie Skanks's, Basie Skanks's, somebody always text me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that this ain't like IG Live where you can see what somebody just said. My friend just sent me something hilarious. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me. But yeah, I think her name was Tasha. Or whatever her name was. Basie Skanks' wife. Yeah. The most was going on with that, y'all. Excuse me. But yeah, y'all, the most has been going on, and let me just go ahead and finally get into the review. Like, that's enough reviewing. I mean, I guess the last thing I'll say is that the daughter, who at first we thought that was Grace's only child, but it's not. She seems to be at a crossroads. She doesn't want to go to church anymore or have anything to do with church anymore because she was raped and all this stuff happened. I understand that fully. I have been there. I have had my moments where it had to be revealed to me that God is real. Now, if you're not a believer, I understand that, but just hear me out. I'm just saying that that is my experience. You know what I'm saying? You will have to discover that for yourself. I am not perfect, but I'm just saying to you that my eyes were opened, even in my darkest times. And I have been through a few dark times. So I'm just saying, like, I really did go through a period where I was just like, really? Is this person even real? Look what just happened to me. I'm a decent person. Like, why would this happen to me? I do right by people. I treat people the way I want to be treated. So, y'all, it was just a lot. I had to go through a lot. And some things had to be revealed to me. But I'm definitely a believer. So, anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this episode. Woo child. It starts off showing the bishop at the church. The church is empty. And within a week's time, they are supposed to be tearing it down and resurrecting a cathedral that is actually going to be the headquarters of Harmony and Hope. And I'm just like, Lord, they're doing too much. So they're actually seeing people go in and moving stuff out and throwing it away. Like the bishop had his picture and all kinds of stuff with him all throughout the church because it was the family's church. And yeah, it was just a lot. So he kind of was like, well, you know, I know that it's happening, but in a sense, for me, I feel like if I'm not witnessing it, you can't say that it happened if I'm not really laying my eyes on it. So, you know, I kind of get it. I see where he's going with that. I get it. Y'all, so anyway, Lady Mae, who is the bishop's wife, she is at the house. And she has been fasting for like 40 days, like has not had anything but hot water and lemon and, you know, whatever. Literally that has been all she has ingested. No food at all. She has been fasting and praying and she's just waiting to hear from God on what she should do because she just feels like her whole family is turned upside down. Her and her husband aren't getting along. And I think did they divorce last season? Y'all, I forgot. They got separated or whatever because last season, the bishop found out that Grace is not his daughter, but the guy who was presumed to be like his best friend, or at least somebody pretty close to him, had been screwing her after he'd already had his indiscretions years and years ago or whatever, and she was pregnant, and it just wasn't by the bishop. But after he found it out, I literally was like, man, real fathers, real men. That's what I'm talking about. The bishop was still like, I still love Grace like she's my own flesh and blood. He was still here for her. He still treats her like he would treat children that are literally blood related to him. So I was like, oh, you better step up and be a father, even though Grace is like 40-something years old. Yo. The absolute most happened last season. I was so tired. But see, it's kind of like, in all honesty, if you think about it, it's like what Jacob's mama and daddy did is exactly what he's doing. It's a pattern that is learned. It's, y'all, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's a cycle that has not been broken. Literally, his daddy was out here screwing her sister and some more people, at least his sister, and the sister was played by Oprah Winfrey, y'all. Tired in my spirit. Oh my gosh. Y'all excuse me. And yeah, the most was going on. Mate, y'all don't even want to say her name wrong. But yeah, Oprah Winfrey is her sister, and you know, apparently they had, you know, had some moments and whatever, and woo child, that was a lot to go through. I thought they had gotten over it, but yeah, her indiscretions finally came out when the man who is Grace's daddy was dying. And Lord, I was just like, oh my God. I think what happened was the bishop overheard the two of them talking because he was dying. He wanted to see them separately and whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, no. And the bishop is so sweet, but at the same time, I understand he did what he did back in the day. And like I already said, Jacob been out here screwing everybody. Then he stopped. Then his wife then picked up where he left off. This heifer got chlamydia. I'm just like, heifer. That's why last season when I was watching this, I was so done. I'm like, why is everybody screwing and ain't got no condom on? I'm talking about off rip, just like, oh, well, you know what I want. I'm like, what? She does not know that man. That's why I was like, ma'am, what is we doing? Why? Them people made me so tired. That's why I laughed till I couldn't laugh no more when that heifer came up with chlamydia. I was like, oh, well, you deserved that. I'm sorry. But anyway, y'all, Lady Mae at the house, and Aaron, who is her daughter's brother, who was that man who passed away's son, and also the same man who Charity's husband was sleeping with. So many things going on, y'all. So many things. But anyway, just so many things. Oh, Lord, y'all. When I tell y'all, this show do the most. Do the absolute most, y'all. So they're talking, and, you know, she's just telling him that she don't know if she even wants the old church back or whatever. And so he's kind of mainly there because he wants to see Grace. Grace isn't there at the moment. But when Grace and her daddy arrives, you can tell the bishop is still a little bit salty towards Lady Mae, and, you know, whatever. It's crazy because they're living in 2 different rooms, and like it's just too much. So anyway, Grace is now, you know, greeting her brother, and he's like, well, AJ should be present to hear this too. It involves him. So the information that he has received is that they have video footage and all this other stuff of this guy who looks like AJ, you know, because he has locks basically, and he light skinned. And they're saying that he is the one who did these robberies. But Grace and her son both know that AJ is the one who did this. So they looking like, what's going on here? But keep in mind, y'all, this is the same dude who rolled up on Grace while she was visiting her little sister's grave on the family property that nobody should be able to just roll up on when they have all of this security and whatnot. People last season were all wondering, like, okay, wait a minute. Is this guy possibly the real AJ? Like, I mean, I've heard so many different things, but that was like the main burning question that a lot of people had, because they were like, well, maybe this whole time the guy that was presented to us is not even her son. But this has basically been debunked by showing us this. So I'm like, okay, nah. So y'all, the dude came to her as if he was like an angel. Like, that's what confused me last season. I'm like, are we supposed to like take this as him being an angel or what? I don't know. But anyway, he has been acquitted, and everything that they, you know, tried to have against AJ, they're throwing it all out. The dude himself has supposedly been killed in a shootout at some store not too far from where they are. And it's just a lot. And Grace is just looking like, how? How is this even possible? Y'all, anyway, Carissa and her husband, Jacob, are going back and forth because last season, Carissa got some information that she wanted to use against Jacob from the dude who she got chlamydia from. Which is a deed to the house that it was a will. It was a part of a will, and it has something to do with the house. Supposedly, the people who own the house, the way that it's worded and the way that it's coming off, it's making it seem as though Mae's nasty. Y'all, Lady Mae's brother. Y'all don't understand. The person who played her brother on here, Mac, which is short for Mackenzie, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen him in so many different things that when he was in this role and then my suspicions turned into what it really was, it disturbed me so bad that I really had to take a moment and be like, look, he ain't nothing like these other characters that he's played before. Like, everything else I've ever really seen him play before was nothing like this. He always played this really nice person. He always played a pastor. Always played something amazing. So when I saw him playing this role, I was like, what we're not finna do is this. Because he was over here. He was the person who raped Faith's sister, which in turn made her eventually commit suicide. And this man tried to kill Grace once Grace figured it out. Like, oh my gosh. And he was raping other girls at the church. He was... Then paying hush money. Like, y'all, Mac was doing the most. I'm tired. And for the longest, just like most people in the black community and some others as well, they wanted to sit up there and just try to speak it away and try to brush it under the rug and act as if it didn't happen just because they don't want to believe it. And y'all, I was tired. So anyway, y'all, Mac has done something where he has done like, that was the most recent that the will was. And apparently the way that it's written up, it's making it look as though the house is not really Jacob's, in his, you know, his parents' house like that. And that they had the people killed in order for them to have the house. And I'm just like, this ain't making no sense, but okay. But yeah, so she's trying to hold it over his head. Like, well, if you don't give me what I want, I'm gonna make sure this information get out and whatever, make sure that can't none of y'all have none of the stuff that's going on around here. I mean, she's doing the most. Also that she can eventually get whatever she wants the settlement to be when they ultimately get a divorce. And I'm just like, girl, can you please go somewhere and sit down? So anyway, Charity is at the church house with old boy from Harmony and Hope that she thought she was going to get married to. But he went on ahead and dropped a bomb on her last season and told her that I can't marry you because I'm about to marry this man's daughter in order for me to get the job that I wanted and I have been working for 20 years. So she looking at him like, what you mean? And he like, I've been trying to get to this position for 20 years. I love you, but I got to do what I got to do to get this job. So she in her feelings and whatever. And I'm just like, girl, why don't you go somewhere and sit down just like you wanted Jabari before that. And he was using you and he was screwing the next heifer when you weren't around because you're trying to take care of your child that you had by the gay man that you was married to. Like, she has, her picker is off. You know, that's what some people call it, her picker. A picker. That's whatever it is that people use in order to choose the people that they end up with. And, you know, I don't know. I know that's what they call it. So that's what I'm saying it is in this moment. But she need to just give up. I'm sorry. She need to just give up. Go to another team or something. I don't know. She really need to just give up. In all honesty, in my opinion. Give up. Give up on that. It ain't for you. Y'all, but anyway. But she at the church and they about to have a meeting with a lot of the other board members. And since she is the Greenleaf member who has like the, you have to have a certain percentage in the church if you're on the board. Even if you're on the board and you're not actively like preaching or on the staff or whatever, in order for you to be able to participate in some of this stuff and have a say. So she's the only one who fits the bill. So she's at the meeting and she's going up there with old boy. And they making an announcement about how the church is going to be, you know, demolished within a week and we got to pack up stuff or whatever. And so she decides to interject and say, oh, it's going to be amazing because on some of these days when we're preaching, even though we're going to be in the gymnasium for, like they're going to be down. They're not going to be in a church. They're going to be like in somebody's gymnasium for like a year having church. And so she was like, well, you can look forward to my sermons and whatever. And I'm like, girl. And you could tell she was just throwing shade the whole time at him. And I'm just like, stop. An old boy that's gay, he tired of his spirit. When the meeting was over with, he came to her and was like, yeah, I'm done. I ain't got time for this no more. And I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't be here. It ain't what it used to be. And I'll still socialize with you outside of the church. But I'm not going to be a part of this no more. So y'all just got to do what you're going to have to do because I ain't going to be a part of it. Y'all, anyway, Jacob felt it on his heart that he would go and visit one of the church heifers that he was screwing. Well, upon him entering her apartment, he sees children's toys everywhere. And of course, me, him, and everybody else is like, okay, is this your child? What's going on here? So he avoided that question for a good little while. And he was talking to her and he was just like, you know, thank you for meeting up with me. And, you know, what's going on with you? And eventually he did ask, you know, is that your child? Is that my child? What's going on here? And she was like, yeah, I never kept any of your children. I was like, ouch, excuse me. And I knew it because they were screwing all up in the church everywhere. Every time you looked up, they were screwing somewhere. So this heifer has apparently had abortion after abortion. And finally, after she didn't get pregnant by him, she kept it by whoever this one is by. So in my mind, I'm like, are you telling the truth or what? Like, I just need to know if you're telling the truth. So y'all, the main reason, well, the reason why Jacob even wanted to meet up with old girl was because he was wondering if she might know where legal documentation is that Mac had that he would be able to pull from, because like I was saying earlier, apparently there is something that supersedes whatever it was that he had drawn up, and he needs to make sure before he tries to pull the trigger on anything dealing with Carissa, because she's holding it over his head. So yeah, because she's trying to go for blood for real in this divorce. She doing the most. So yeah, the woman that went off, she was like, basically like, how dare you come over here and want to ask me to do anything for you? She got him fired from that church and another church. Like, she was like, despite everything that I've done, I'm still a Christian. And yeah, the way you treated me, you know, it was not cool or whatever, y'all. It was a mess. So anyway, y'all, the bishop then met up with some of the ladies, a lot of the older ladies who, you know, are not pleased with the direction of where the church is going. And he's like, you know, look, before we even get into that, let's go on ahead and pray on it and talk to the Lord about it. Cool, let's do that. Y'all, Grace's daughter is being stupid, and she's still trying to deal with the superstar, basketball player, football player, whatever he is. And she getting her feelings hurt because for her to say to him, we need to fix the situation, because Nikki, who is the girl who has been there since, you know, he really popped off like that, she said, you know, we got to fix this situation. She's still over here because she's still like on their property in her feelings because they ain't together no more. But when she went over to see him, he was like, well, you told me I needed to fix this. So they kind of look like they working on things. So I'm like, girl, you just sat up here and gave him the goodies for no reason, because she was a virgin. Like, she set it off. She had a whole boyfriend, and she was just like, nah, what I'm not finna do is that. I'm not finna do nothing with nobody. And then she busted wide open, told him to bring it back to him. So I was like, girl, why? So anyway, Lady Mae and the bishop began to talk, and he is just like helping to apparently give her the epiphany that she's been looking for. He was talking about how, you know, he's 100% on board, and with everything she did when she did her last day with Lady Mae, or whatever it's called, he saw something, and because of everything that he'd been going through, it definitely was something that was needed. So in her mind, like I said, everything he was saying to her was just confirmation for her that she does need to have a church of her own. She is in the right to think that she should be a pastor, even though she doesn't think that she needs to be a part of the old church anymore in that capacity. But yeah, y'all, it's all a mess. Charity went over to old boy's house to return the ring. He was like, no, keep it. And she looking like, for what? He talking about a reminder. It's just a reminder for you to know that I love you. And I mean, right before she got there, he had a picture of her hanging up somewhere, whatever. He had put it on the counter, and he tried to hide it. I was like, sir. But she was just like, look, I ain't got time for this foolishness. And eventually did what she normally do when she in her feelings, and the next man on the list is done with her. And, you know, she ended up giving him the ring back and leaving. So I was like, okay, do what you do. Carissa and Jacob end up going over terms, so to speak, of, you know, what they want to do as far as the divorce is concerned. The kids don't know what's going on yet. I know one of them is too young to really understand. The oldest one is like 18, 19 years old, and the other ones are like underage. So yeah. But yeah, she was just like, look, you know, are we getting separate lawyers? Like, what are we doing? And she's just like, look, I just wanted to be how it needs to be, go how it needs to go without any hiccups. And he was like, yeah, ain't no reason to get two different lawyers, whatever. Y'all, everybody has gotten the same message, which is there is going to be a wedding. And I figured it out. I mean, it was pretty easy to figure out that Lady Mae and the bishop were getting married again. So everybody stopped what they was doing and went home. get dressed and, you know, go wherever they was gonna go to have the wedding. But yeah, y'all, so Grace gets to the house and she's like, well, have y'all seen AJ? And so her daughter was like, no, I just went up there and I went in his room. I didn't see him. So she was like, oh, okay, no, what we're not finna do is this. So she ran in the house and looked for him. And she went into his room calling for him. He didn't answer. So she went to, I think, the bathroom door or some other door that's within the room that he was in. And it was locked. So she's knocking on the door, trying to get him to answer the door. He won't answer the door. And it gets to the point where she's just like, her motherly instincts is just like, nah, something ain't right. She done bust the door down. This boy that sat up here and slit his wrist. And now she's like, somebody help me! I was like, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. But anyway, y'all, I don't know if he's gonna make it, but he feels like he should not be able to go through life getting off when he needs to do time for the crimes that he's committed. So he decided to slit his wrist, y'all. So I don't know. We're going to see how it go. Hopefully y'all enjoy this recap review. I might come back with a little bit of something later, but if not, I might come bacan tomorrow because, you know, American Soul comes on late tonight. Y'all have a good one. Bye.